Yes, I am in fact pissed right the fuck off. And I'll tell you why. So in today's buried news stories, which technically is a Friday's buried news story, the judge hearing the lawsuits about the vaccine mandates, the unvaccinated, god damn it, Dutch tilt much? Anyway, the judge hearing the vaccine travel mandates, basically the ruling that our junta in power decided to create, making unvaccinated people unable to travel. Couldn't get on a plane, couldn't get on a train. For a while, probably couldn't get on a bus. Yeah, so that rule was being challenged in court, or those rulings were being challenged in court by Brian Peckford, former Premier of Newfoundland, and the last living signer of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. You know, the guy who knows what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah, so a judge on Friday decided, moot point, forget about it. It's not an issue anymore. You guys have your rights back, right? Except we don't. Because those orders were never rescinded, except when the restrictions were lifted. So basically the government went, we fucked up, we're being sued over it. Well, I guess we'll drop the mandates, and everybody will forget about it, right? All's good? No. No. See, this judge went and ruled that these cases are moot. M-O-O-T. Moot. Because, you know, you're complaining about something that was happening, but it stopped happening, so now you don't need to complain. No. Here's why. Because the laws have not been amended to prevent it from happening again. Like Trudeau would ever allow that to happen. There's always the possibility of a new pandemic to, you know, keep everybody in fear. For the record, I'm not vaccinated. I got sick maybe twice with things that might have been COVID. I've never been tested. Fuck. Why would I bother? I'm not getting vaccinated. I don't need to get tested. I get sick. I stay home like a sensible fucking person should do. Yeah, I get it. You gotta work. But if you're in the middle of a pandemic and you're working for a company that goes, no, we don't care there's a pandemic. Get tested and get your ass in here until your test comes back. That's a company that should be fined. That's not a person who should be censured or fired. If you do something responsible, your employer should look at you and go, shit, you did a good thing. Okay, stay home. Whatever. Rather than, you know, take the risk of everybody else in the office getting sick and losing all the production you can manage. But on Friday, the Liberals basically applied to have it declared moot. And the judge went, yeah, okay. Is that judge vaccinated? First thing came to my mind. Very first thing. What's that judge's opinion on vaccination? Oh, but judges are supposed to be neutral and only rule on the law. Yeah, because that happens all the time. Look, judges are people. I get that. Okay? And people are swayed by their own opinions. Fine. But when one side of the argument says, this isn't fair to anybody, and the other side of the argument says, fuck you, then we've got a problem. But it's going to be appealed, so that's good news. The thing that pisses me off more than anything else is the fact that Trudeau basically, to sort of mix a metaphor, He got caught with his fingers in the cookie jar. And rather than say, oh, I'm sorry, or let's talk about this, he went, put the lid back on the cookie jar. We assume he put the cookie down. He may have just eaten the cookie real fast, where we couldn't see it. And then said, no, no problem. See, the lid's back on the cookie jar. No, it's not how it works. Sorry, Skippy. So, what's next? We've already got a completely unconstitutional gun ban, where we have a prime minister who says, you don't have the right to defend yourself. Period. No, you said with a fire. It doesn't matter if it's with a firearm or not. You just got told you don't have the right to defend yourself. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are of that self-defense. We don't have the right to defend ourselves. We don't have the right to travel freely. We don't have the right to decide what goes in our bodies. We don't have the right to decide our opinion. Certainly not in public. And not on the internet from the sounds of things, the way Trudeau is going. And yeah, no, I know there are more than Trudeau in Parliament. He's the top guy. The general of the army is responsible for the performance of that army. The executive of a corporation is responsible for the performance of that corporation. This is why we have hierarchies. Because responsibility has to be taken somewhere. Unfortunately, we have a welfare state in this country. I almost said province, which is true too, but that's beside the point. But we have a welfare state in this country, which has now infected the brains of our politicians to the point that they go, well, this isn't my fault. Clearly, I'm just a part of the system, and the system is broken. If the system is broken, who's responsible for that? Well, nobody. How is it nobody? Well, I wasn't part of the system when it got broken. Oh, but you're the head of the system. No, it doesn't matter. That's not how it works. If I fuck up and I don't take responsibility for it, I've fucked up again. Right? You're just compounding mistakes. Look at the affirmative action programs. Sorry, a little fired up. Look at the affirmative action programs. It's not my fault I wasn't born the right color. No, you're right. That's not your fault. So I shouldn't have to work as hard to get what everybody else gets. No. Equal opportunity. Oh, but I should have equal outcome. No. You don't deserve equal outcome any more than I do. Yeah, it's a fucking kick in the fucking nuts, ain't it? Right? Some people fail. Shit happens. You find your point of success, and that's what you get. If you want more, work harder. You can't turn around and say, oh, this isn't my fault, and then say society is to blame. You're part of society, which means you're part of the problem, which means you're also part of the fucking solution. Now, in 3 years, give or take, we're going to have a chance to vote. Whether that's going to be legitimate or not, it's anybody's question. Whether we'll even be able to vote by then is also anybody's question. But everything else being equal, maybe we will. Don't forget what's been done to you and your family and your friends by this fucking government. And no, I don't mean the Liberals. I mean the Liberals, the NDPs, the Conservatives, everybody in fucking Parliament is responsible for this. Because they're all part of the same system. Oh, but this party wasn't in power. They're there. Granted, there is only so much that one party can do in a multi-party system. But anyone who was complicit, who was accepting of this idea of travel mandates, anyone who was complicit in the payment scheme It doesn't matter if they change their story. There were enough of us when this shit started going, look, this is a bad idea. We can foresee this coming. The inflation was not out of nowhere. People knew about the infectiousness rate of COVID-19 from the minute it hit our shores. We all knew the infection rate was about whatever the infection rate is. We also knew what the fatality rate was, give or take. It was fucking minuscule. Yeah, I'm sorry that people died. People die. It's kind of what we're born to do. You can artificially prolong someone's life. You cannot prevent it from ending. It's a hard truth, and you need to learn that as early as possible. Because if you think you can live forever, or if you are left with the idea that, oh, I've got time, you don't. You have to do what you can do when you can do it. This mandate thing, this lawsuit, this wasn't about one person being told, oh no, you have to stay home. It's not what it was about. It was about the entire government apparatus looking at the Charter of Rights and Freedoms going, it's just a piece of paper. Fuck it. Who cares? We'll do what we want, what we think is best. It's not how government works. You are not a monarch. And if you were a monarch, you'd have been run out of town on a rail, or worse. Acting like a dictator, especially when you've turned around years earlier and said, I admire the basic dictatorship of China. Yeah. I never voted for Trudeau, even the first time. And I was a Liberal voter for years. And I looked at Trudeau and I went, I don't trust the little shit. Loads of men did. That's when I went, he's pretty. What? He's pretty. That's not a qualification. Oh, he's friendly. He's a little too friendly with high school kids, apparently. Or, sorry, allegedly. What? And then you'd have other people say, well, he was in a boxing match with a woman beater. And again, allegedly. At least I think that's alleged. That might actually be convicted. I'm not certain of that one. I'd have to look that up, and I'm not going to bother right now. Look, the important thing here is this. Trudeau doesn't give a fuck. Not one single solitary shaded fuck about the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. He doesn't care. It's an inconvenience to him. He sent people, police, to break up a protest. A protest. A fucking peaceful one, at that matter. There's also some allegations that he sent, ironically, false flag operatives to that protest to make it look bad. Certain literal flags, in this case. Allegedly. Yeah. When someone tells you they like the idea of dictatorship, you should fucking believe them. Anyway. This will be Thursday's video. I'm recording it on Wednesday because I literally just saw the story. Unbelievable. Fuck this country. I'm out. The moment I can get out of this country, I'm going. Where am I going? Don't know yet. Most likely Texas. Or possibly Tennessee. Wherever I end up, I'll be fucked if I'll vote for anybody liberal ever again. Anyway, you crowd have a good day. Keep having good days. Rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.